Okay, welcome to the Crow Discovery Project. We've had many days of clouded over skies, and we did get a tiny bit of rain, but it cleared up this morning and the chem planes came in force. I have a full spectrum camera now, and that's what we're looking at here. It goes UV all the way up through IR. It really has trouble with chem debris in the air. I was able to, the night that I got it, I was able to shoot a little bit when the skies were clear. And what I notice is when this junk is in the sky, it's very difficult to focus, and it seems like it's, I don't know, messing with the light, the way it gathers light. But if you look at high altitude above that chemtrail, you can see debris. So I went out right before I sat down to edit and took a 360 of the sky in visible light. And what you see here is a big mess. You can just see the cloudy, milky, I mean, this gradually happened over about 2 or 3 hours from the high altitude chemtrailing, and it made it near impossible for me to focus on the sun, which is unfortunate. I do have footage of a tornado on the sun, but focus was very difficult because of this. So let's look at what the full spectrum can do. This is an image of a tree in the next yard taken just after sundown. So I think it's going to, it's going to be cool using this moving into the future as I get used to it. But you can see here that my eyes would see the sky as black at this time. So here is Venus shot in full spectrum. This was the day that I got the camera. I had a few hours to shoot, and that was it before the clouds rolled in for all these days. But what was cool is Venus and the moon were right next to each other. This is a video of Venus in full spectrum, and you can see some stars that are very low magnitude. And there I swung over to the moon. Now this is kind of a cool thing. You'll notice there is an identifiable star, which I did ID right next to the moon, but look to the right of it. I thought, wow, am I seeing through the darkened portion of the moon here? So we'll zoom in and you'll be able to see. But that's not what's going on here. It's something else. I'm not sure what that little point of light is. I've never seen this before. With the full spectrum rig, I can overexpose the lit part of the moon so that we can see the darkened portion. So with my eye, I couldn't really see the darkened portion here, but that little point of light I thought was very interesting, and it's not a star, and I can prove that. As the moon moves, the dot moves with it in relationship to the star that's just outside the moon that I can ID, and that's about a I think it's a magnitude 5 star right there on the outside. But as I was watching, I could not figure out what that dot of light might be on the moon right there. It almost looks like it wants to be part of the lit portion that's somehow interrupted, but this is being shot UV through visual all the way up into IR spectrum. And I'll load one more video, and you can see another star on the left there that's like magnitude 7, I think. So you can really see what the full spectrum does. So I just thought this was very interesting. There are so many reports of people right at the new moon and right after the new moon claiming they've seen stars through the disk, which is why I was filming and using full spectrum, because I want to see if I can do that. But this is definitely not a star. I have no idea why it's what we're seeing here. It looks like the point of light should be connected all the way to there where the lit portion of the moon is. Alright, so here's the full spectrum camera. On the left, you're going to see like a smudge going into the disk of the sun. That is the tornado, and you'll see it poke by. All this chem junk is blowing by, making, for the full spectrum camera, it was near impossible to get good images. So what I did is I shot for a while in full spectrum, and then I switched over to visual. And we'll close out with that because the images are a bit better. Alright, so here is, we're going to go through the color manipulation so that I can try to bring it up in full spectrum, and I'll tell you when we switch over to the visible spectrum Nikon. But what you can see there is that prominence is like a swirling tornado, and it goes all the way in across the face there. And it's just a shame that they chemtrailed so heavily this morning, or focused, I could have focused a lot better. Too bad. Maybe this will still be going on for a day or two, who knows. Alright, so here's a light blocking method. Keep your eye in the center. There it overexposes, and that was with the full spectrum camera. Now I'm going to load into visual. This is visual spectrum, and you can see a lot better now because the visual spectrum camera doesn't have so much difficulty with, I guess, the scattering of light from the chem debris. But that is, you know, when looking at this through an eyepiece, it's really something to see, and unfortunately trying to video it, the focus just isn't that great. But it is one massive, massive swirling tornado. I don't know any other way to describe it. That's what it looks like. So we'll roll through a few views here. So I had, I think, 5 hours to shoot with the full spectrum camera the night I got it, and then the weather turned bad, and we've been clouded over for I don't even know how many days now, just a lot of days that it was not possible to shoot. Rain finally did come. We didn't get a lot, and it cleared up this morning. I'm hoping that I'll be able to get back into my lunar cycle and do some full spectrum filming as well. And here's what we can kind of do with full spectrum images in the editing room. So it should be very cool. All right. Well, the lunar cycle is about to start back up, and I think our weather has gone by for a while, so stay tuned. Cheers.